Jim Brown, the foundation of modern power running. Let's start with the man who essentially created the template for what a dominant running back could be. Jim Brown didn't just play football, he redefined what was possible at the position and forced the entire league to reconsider how they approach both offense and defense. When Brown entered the league in 1957, running backs were typically smaller finesse players who relied on speed and agility. Brown was different. 6'2", 232 pounds of pure muscle and athleticism. He combined the power of a fullback with the speed of a halfback, creating a prototype that didn't exist before him. Brown's impact on the league was immediate and lasting. He led the NFL in rushing 8 out of his 9 seasons, a level of dominance that forced defenses to completely restructure their approach. Teams started pulling 8 and 9 men in the box just to slow him down, which opened up the passing game for his teammates. But Brown's real innovation was how he ran. He wasn't just powerful, he was smart. He'd lower his shoulder and run through defenders when he needed to, but he could also make them miss in the open field. He popularized the idea that a running back could be both a power runner and an elusive threat. The league had to adapt to Brown in ways that are still felt today. His dominance led to rule changes about how defenses could align, and his style influenced a generation of running backs who tried to combine power and finesse. When Brown retired in 1965 at his absolute peak, he left behind a blueprint that every power runner since has tried to follow. Brown also changed how teams thought about building their offense. The Cleveland Browns built their entire system around getting him the ball, proving that a transcendent running back could be the focal point of a championship-level offense. This approach influenced team building for decades. Gale Sayers, the art of elusiveness. If Jim Brown showed the league what power could do, Gale Sayers demonstrated the devastating effectiveness of pure elusiveness. The Kansas Comet didn't just run past defenders, he made them look foolish while doing it, revolutionizing how the position could be played. Sayers entered the league in 1965 and immediately changed what people thought was possible in terms of cutting ability and field vision. His famous 61-yard touchdown run against the 49ers, where he reversed field multiple times and made half the defenders miss, became the template for highlight reel running that we still see today. What made Sayers revolutionary wasn't just his speed, it was his ability to change direction without losing momentum. He popularized cuts and moves that became standard techniques for running backs. The jump cut, the stutter step, the ability to plant and go in the opposite direction. Sayers turned these from occasional moves into essential skills. Sayers also reshaped how teams used running backs in the passing game. He was one of the first backs to be a legitimate receiving threat out of the backfield, catching 29 passes in his rookie year when most running backs caught 10 to 15. This dual threat ability forced defenses to account for him in coverage, not just run support. His impact on special teams was equally revolutionary. Sayers returned kicks and punts with the same elusiveness he showed as a runner, proving that elite athletes could dominate multiple phases of the game. His 6-touchdown performance against the 49ers in 1965, 4 rushing, 1 receiving, 1 punt return, showed the league what a truly versatile weapon could accomplish. Tragically, Sayers' career was cut short by knee injuries, but his influence lasted far beyond his playing days. He proved that smaller, more elusive backs could be just as effective as power runners, opening the door for a different type of running back to succeed at the highest level. O.J. Simpson, breaking the rushing barrier. O.J. Simpson's 1973 season didn't just break records, it shattered what everyone thought was possible for a running back. When Simpson became the first player to rush for over 2,000 yards in a season, he didn't just set a new standard, he forced the entire league to reconsider the ceiling for individual rushing performance. Simpson's 2,003 yards came in just 14 games, averaging over 143 yards per game. This wasn't just impressive, it was revolutionary. No one had ever approached 2,000 yards before, and Simpson didn't just reach it, he made it look achievable for future generations. What made Simpson's achievement even more remarkable is how he did it. The Buffalo Bills built their entire offense around getting him the ball, running a simple but effective system that maximized his talents. Simpson's success proved that a team could build a championship-caliber offense around one dominant runner. Simpson's running style also influenced the position. He combined breakaway speed with excellent vision, showing that the most effective running backs weren't necessarily the most powerful, but the ones who could find the right hole and exploit it for maximum yardage. His ability to turn small gains into big plays became the model for future generations. The 2,000-yard barrier that Simpson broke became the holy grail for running backs. Eric Dickerson would eventually surpass it in 1984, but Simpson proved it was possible and created a benchmark that every great runner would chase. This psychological barrier being broken opened up new possibilities for what individual players could accomplish. Simpson also changed how defenses had to prepare for elite running backs. Teams started dedicating entire game plans to stopping one player, leading to more sophisticated defensive schemes and the development of specialized run stoppage packages that are still used today. Walter Payton, redefining durability and versatility. Walter Payton didn't just play running back, he redefined what the position could be in terms of longevity, versatility, and complete football skills. Sweetness showed the league that a running back could be a complete player who contributed in every aspect of the game. Payton's durability was legendary and changed how teams thought about using their running backs. He played 13 seasons, missed only one game due to injury, and carried the ball over 3,800 times in his career. This level of consistency and availability was unprecedented and showed teams that the right running back could be a foundational piece for over a decade. But Payton's real innovation was his versatility. He wasn't just a runner. He was a legitimate receiving threat, a capable passer, and even an emergency punter. Payton threw 8 touchdown passes in his career and completed 11 of 34 attempts for 331 yards. This multidimensional ability forced defenses to prepare for multiple threats from the same player. Payton's receiving ability was particularly revolutionary. He caught 492 passes for 4,538 yards in his career, proving that running backs could be legitimate weapons in the passing game. This dual-threat capability became essential for modern running backs and changed how offensive coordinators designed their systems. His running style also influenced the position. Payton was known for never running out of bounds, always fighting for extra yards, and punishing defenders who tried to tackle him. This aggressive never-give-up approach became the standard for how running backs should carry themselves in the field. Payton's work ethic and preparation methods also reshaped how players approached their craft. His famous hill running workouts in the offseason became legendary, and his dedication to conditioning and preparation set a new standard for professional athletes. This approach influenced not just running backs, but players at every position. Eric Dickerson, the art of the long run. Eric Dickerson's 1984 season was a masterclass in explosive running that changed how the league viewed big play potential from the running back position. When Dickerson rushed for 2,105 yards, breaking O.J. Simpson's record, he didn't just set a new mark, he redefined what breakaway speed could accomplish. Dickerson's running style was unique and influential. His upright running posture, long strides, and ability to accelerate through holes created a template for tall, rangy running backs. He proved that you didn't need to be low to the ground to be effective. Sometimes height and stride length could be advantages. What made Dickerson revolutionary was his ability to turn routine plays into explosive gains. He had 14 runs of 20 or more yards in his record-setting 1984 season, showing that the most effective way to accumulate yards wasn't necessarily through consistent short gains, but through the ability to break long runs when opportunities presented themselves. Dickerson's success also changed how teams evaluated running backs in the draft. His combination of size, speed, and vision became the prototype that teams looked for, influencing scouting and player development for years to come. The idea that a running back could single-handedly transform an offense became more accepted after Dickerson's dominance. His impact on the Rams' offense was total. The team built their entire system around his abilities, using play-action passes and misdirection plays that took advantage of defenses' focus on stopping him. This approach showed other teams how to maximize an elite running back's impact on the entire offensive system. Dickerson also influenced the business side of the game. His holdouts and contract disputes helped establish precedents for running back contracts and showed that elite players at the position could command top-dollar salaries. This changed how teams valued and paid running backs throughout the league. Emmitt Smith, the championship formula. Emmitt Smith proved that individual excellence and team success could go hand in hand at the running back position. Smith didn't just accumulate impressive statistics, he showed the league how a great running back could be the centerpiece of a championship dynasty. Smith's approach was different from the flashy highlight reel style of some of his predecessors. He was a technician who maximized every opportunity, rarely using yards, and consistently moving the chains. This efficiency-focused style became a model for how to play the position at the highest level. What made Smith revolutionary was his clutch performance in the biggest moments. His ability to elevate his play in the playoffs and deliver when championships were on the line changed how teams valued running backs in crucial situations. Smith's 3 Super Bowl victories proved that a great running back could be the difference between good teams and championship teams. Smith's durability and longevity also reshaped expectations for the position. He played 15 seasons, rushed for over 1,000 yards 11 times, and finished as the NFL's all-time leading rusher with 18,355 yards. This consistency showed teams that the right running back could be a cornerstone player for over a decade. His success behind the Cowboys' legendary offensive line also influenced how teams thought about building their running game. The combination of Smith's vision and patience with the line's blocking created a template for how to construct a dominant ground attack. This approach influenced offensive line construction and running back development throughout the league. Smith's receiving ability was also underrated but influential. He caught 515 passes for 3,224 yards, proving that even traditional running backs needed to be threats in the passing game to maximize their effectiveness in modern offenses. Marshall Faulk didn't just play running back, he revolutionized what the position could be in a modern passing offense. Faulk's ability to line up anywhere on the field and create mismatches changed how offensive coordinators thought about using their running backs. Faulk's receiving ability was unprecedented for a running back. He caught 767 passes for 6,875 yards in his career, with 5 seasons of 80 or more receptions. This wasn't just a running back who could catch. This was a legitimate receiver who happened to also run the ball effectively. What made Faulk revolutionary was his versatility in offensive systems. He could line up in the backfield, split out wide, or work from the slot, creating matchup problems that defenses had never had to deal with before. Linebackers couldn't cover him, and safeties couldn't tackle him in the open field. Faulk's impact on the St. Louis Rams' greatest show on turf offense was immeasurable. His dual threat ability opened up the entire passing game for Isaac Bruce, Torrey Holt, and the other receivers. Defenses couldn't focus solely on the passing game because Faulk could hurt them on the ground, and they couldn't stack the box because he was equally dangerous as a receiver. His 1999 season was particularly influential. 1,381 rushing yards and 1,048 receiving yards. This achievement showed the league what was possible when a running back was truly utilized as a complete offensive weapon. Faulk's success changed how teams evaluated and used running backs. The idea that a back needed to be a legitimate receiving threat became standard, and offensive coordinators started designing systems that could take advantage of dual threat capabilities. This influence can be seen in how modern offenses use running backs today. LaDainian Tomlinson, the complete package. LaDainian Tomlinson represented the evolution of everything that came before him: power, speed, receiving ability, and versatility all wrapped into one complete package. LT didn't just excel at individual aspects of the position, he mastered every element and showed what a truly complete running back could accomplish. Tomlinson's 2006 season was a masterpiece of offensive production. His 28 rushing touchdowns, 3 receiving touchdowns, and 2 passing touchdowns gave him 33 total touchdowns, a record that seemed impossible before he achieved it. This level of scoring production from one player changed how teams thought about red zone offense. What made Tomlinson revolutionary was his ability to score from anywhere on the field in multiple ways. He could run between the tackles, bounce runs outside, catch passes out of the backfield, and even throw touchdown passes on trick plays. This versatility made him impossible to game plan against because he could hurt defenses in so many different ways. LT's receiving ability was elite. He caught 624 passes for 4,772 yards in his career, including 100 receptions in the 2003 season. This production from the running back position forced defenses to treat him like a wide receiver in coverage, creating mismatches that the Chargers exploited ruthlessly. Tomlinson also changed how running backs approached their craft off the field. His preparation, film study, and attention to detail set new standards for professionalism at the position. He showed that being a complete player required complete dedication to every aspect of the game. His impact on the Chargers' offense was total. The team built their entire system around his abilities, using formations and play calls that maximized his versatility. This approach influenced how other teams thought about featuring their running backs and designing offensive systems around elite talent. Adrian Peterson, redefining explosive power. Adrian Peterson brought a level of explosive power and breakaway ability to the running back position that hadn't been seen since the early days of Jim Brown. Peterson's combination of size, speed, and power created a new template for what a dominant runner could look like in the modern era. Peterson's rookie season in 2007 announced his arrival with authority. His 296-yard performance against the Chargers wasn't just a great game, it was a statement that power running could still dominate in an increasingly pass-heavy league. This performance changed how defenses had to prepare for elite running backs. What made Peterson revolutionary was his ability to break long runs through sheer power and determination. He didn't just run past defenders, he ran through them, over them, and around them, often in the same play. His combination of speed and power was unprecedented and influenced how teams evaluated running back prospects. Peterson's 2012 comeback from ACL surgery was equally influential. Returning from a devastating knee injury to rush for 2,097 yards and nearly break Eric Dickerson's single-season record showed the league what was possible with modern medical treatment and rehab. His comeback changed how teams and players approached serious injuries. His running style also influenced the position. Peterson's aggressive, punishing approach to carrying the ball reminded the league that power running could still be effective in modern offenses. His success helped maintain the relevance of traditional running back skills in an era increasingly focused on passing. Peterson's longevity and continued production into his 30s also changed perceptions about running back aging curves. His ability to remain effective well past the typical prime years for the position influenced how teams thought about veteran running backs and contract negotiations. The modern era, versatility, and specialization. The current era of running backs has been shaped by all the innovations that came before, creating players who combine the best elements of their predecessors while adapting to modern offensive systems. Players like Christian McCaffrey, Alvin Kamara, and Saquon Barkley represent the evolution of everything we've discussed. These modern backs are expected to be complete players from day one. They need the receiving ability of Marshall Faulk, the versatility of LaDainian Tomlinson, the power of Adrian Peterson, and the durability of Walter Payton. The position has evolved to the point where specialization in just one area isn't enough to succeed at the highest level. The influence of all these legendary running backs can be seen in how modern offenses are designed. Teams now use running backs in ways that it would have been unthinkable in earlier eras, lining them up wide, using them as primary receivers, and building entire offensive systems around their versatility. These running backs didn't just put up impressive numbers, they fundamentally changed how football is played. From Jim Brown's power running template to Marshall Faulk's dual threat revolution, each of these players forced the entire league to adapt and evolve. These players proved that individual excellence can reshape an entire sport. They didn't just play the game, they changed it forever. If you enjoyed learning about these game-changing running backs, smash that like button and let me know in the comments which player you think had the biggest impact on the position. And if you want more deep dives into the players and moments that shaped the NFL, make sure to subscribe to Extra Point Explanation. Thanks for watching, and remember, the greatest players don't just dominate their era, they define it.